Hello and welcome. Today I've decided to go on the fool's errand of ranking every single Opeth song from their studio albums, minus the bonus tracks. Um, the reason I decided to do this is mainly just for myself to take a look at what I really enjoy at this moment in time and maybe revisit it in a year or two and see how things change. But Opeth is one of my very favorite bands, fluctuating between my favorite and probably third favorite, depending on the time of year. Certainly in the fall, they're number one, I would say, pretty consistently. I've recently come to appreciate every single one of their albums. Pretty much love everything that they've done. In the past, I had trouble getting into a couple other albums, like Heritage and Sorceress and Morning Rise. But over the last few months, I've really come to appreciate those three as well. So I thought it would be a good time to do a tier list for fun. I've structured it like this, so it'll be my top 10 S tier. I've split up A into A plus and A just because I feel like most of the Opeth songs will be in these four rows for me. S tier is just masterpiece, with top 10 just being my favorite of those at the time. A plus and A are just incredible songs that for any other band would be easily S tier. B tier are songs that I love and enjoy, but maybe just at the moment they aren't. I don't like them as much as the ones above generally. C tier are songs that I don't really love that much, just haven't clicked with me yet. And then if there was a D tier, it would be songs that I maybe wouldn't care if they would exist or not, but I don't think any of these will end up in D tier, so I guess we can get started with Orchid. So I noticed I didn't make this tier list, but whoever did, it's great. But it's missing a couple of the instrumentals on Orchid, and then some of the small instrumentals, for instance, Prologue on My Arms Your Hearse. Like they're just lumped with the song that's nearest to them, which is fine. But I'm too lazy to add the instrumentals for Orchid, so. In the Miss You Is Standing. I really enjoy this song. It's not one of the standouts for me, but I do really enjoy it, so I'd put it at B tier. Under the Weeping Moon. Really atmospheric track. That kind of drags on, but it's probably C tier for me right now, but I could definitely see myself appreciating it more in the future. Then after that, Silhouette, the instrumental. I would probably put it at B tier. I really enjoy it. It kind of reminds me of like Bach's Toccata and Fugue in D minor, just like a brooding organ player playing on a huge organ somewhere. It kind of gives me a little bit of those vibes, so I like it. Forest of October. For me, this is A plus. Really enjoy this track. I think the screams in this track in particular are just a little bit extra. I really like them. The Twilight Is My Robe. This song is, I can't get enough of this song. Just everything about it. I just love it, so it is S tier for me. The Apostle in Triumph. I guess there's the Requiem instrumental, which I would probably put at C tier, just because there's part of it that really reminds me of Metallica. I think it's Nothing Else Matters. The guitar part in it just every time it reminds me of that a bit too much. The Apostle in Triumph. Yeah, I really like this song as well. I would probably put it at B tier as well, within the mist she was standing. On to Morning Rise. Advent. Yeah, it probably has one thing I've noticed is the first tracks on the albums. Sometimes they have a big task to get you right into the atmosphere. And so for me, I think I have to put it at C tier for now. I could definitely see myself appreciating it more as time goes on, but oftentimes when I listen to this one, there are definitely some cool parts and cool riffs, but it's very disjointed. It just has so many different parts, and it kind of, to me, sounds like just a bunch of riffs just piled together at times. But other times I've listened to it and I can really get into it, but for now I'll put it at C. The Night and the Silent Water. This is just an amazing song. Just even starting with the opening riff, it's just so good. I feel like Morning Rise is one of the records that I have listened to the least, but this one just stuck out immediately, and every time I listen to it, it's just getting better and better. The ending is kind of weird, I will say, but it's not enough to pull it down from S tier for me. Nectar. For me, it's C tier at this point. The bass on the album, like in Nectar and Advent, it's incredible, but at the same time, it kind of sticks out. Doesn't really mesh as well with the music, maybe, but it might just require a few more listens for me to appreciate these two a bit more. Black Rose Immortal. I think the second half in particular, especially starting with the acoustic part, we'll put it in A tier for me. It is really long, but I totally want to just put this on as background music at some point while I'm playing D&D or something. I really like it. To Bid You Farewell. S tier. This is one of the tracks from Morning Rise that I just instantly fell in love with, even before listening to the whole album through. Just starting off with that beginning acoustic, dual acoustic guitars. It's so beautiful. Okay, moving on to My Arms Your Hearse. So Prolag has been lumped with April Ethereal, and pretty confident that this is going in my top 10. I don't know, I love this song to death. Just the thickness of the guitar harmonies. Just everything about this song is amazing. I had it as my morning alarm for at least a year, probably more, and still haven't gotten sick of it in the slightest. Moving on to When. I think April Ethereal and When are one of the best back-to-back songs just of all time. Easy S tier for me. Madrigal, I wish it was separated from the Amen corner, because Madrigal is just stunningly beautiful. But the Amen corner as well is a really good song. I really like it. I would put it at an A tier. something about the guitar harmonies and the way it's just lush, and it kind of merges with the artwork as well. And the raining sounds in the prologue. Just to give it this sort of thick atmosphere. Demon of the Fall. This is an easy S tier for me. Might even go up into the top 10. But yeah, just everything about this song is perfection. Just the ending with the guitars, with the clean vocals over top as well, is unforgettable. Creedence, super chill song. I really like it. I put it at A. Sort of perfect for My Arms Your Hair's album. A perfect break from the thickness of the guitars to have something really chilled out. Karma. I would put this at an A+ tier. Just amazing song. It goes so hard at the end. The softer part in the middle, and the vocals and the lyrics, and the way it starts off with that riff as well. Just one of my favorites from the album. And Epilogue. I have to put this at an A+ as well. Just kind of reminds me of something that would be on Sorceress, with sort of a blues-inspired chill outro. It's just the perfect way to end off a perfect album. Getting into Still Life. Just such a beautiful album. The more great way to start things out. I think I've played this song to death, so it's probably one of my least favorites on the album, but that's not saying much at all. I would probably put this at an A at this point. Godhead's Lament. Just everything about this song is perfection. Easy S tier. Could even break into the top 10, but we'll see. Benighted. This is just one of the most beautiful pieces of music I've ever heard. And how it goes with the story as well. He's talking to Melinda for the first time in however long, trying to convince her to go away with him. Yeah, I mean, I often just break down in tears when listening to this song. It's something else. Moonlapse Vertigo. Just some of the most memorable riffs ever for me. It's probably going to end up in the top 10, but if not, it'll be S for sure. Face of Melinda. Another S tier song. Just that acoustic riff at the beginning is, I love it. Put it here. Serenity Painted Death. Another S tier song. I guess we're seeing why Still Life is many people's favorite Opeth album. This is tough, but certainly put it ahead of these two. Doesn't surpass Demon of the Fall for me, but just sort of a high point in the story as well. when everything goes to hell. With Melinda dying and the protagonist murdering as many people as he can find. White Cluster. For a while, this was my least favorite one on the album, which again isn't saying much, but I've really come to enjoy this one. I definitely put it as an A+. I think right about there seems good. Yeah, I don't know how I was sleeping on this one for so long, but really, really good song. On to Blackwater Park. The Leper Affinity. Very heavy song to start off the album. I would put it at an A+. Yeah, I think it's at the top of A+ for now. Bleak. Definitely an S tier song for me at this point. Where does it belong? I think right about there for now. Harvest. Absolutely love the the album definitely needs the acoustic break, or doesn't need it, but I think it works really well. And I really like the lyrics to this one. This is one of the only Opeth songs that I've actually learned on guitar at this point as well. Where does it belong? I think I'd put it at the top of A tier. It's got sort of the verse, chorus pattern, so it's a bit repetitive, but it is really good. The Drapery Falls, another S tier song. Where does it belong? I think I would put it right here. Just the guitar, like I'm a sucker for the lush guitar harmony, that atmospheric thing, and this song does a lot of that. I feel like Blackwater Park and My Arms Your Hearse are sort of the quintessential albums that have a lot of those, although many of the other albums do as well. Dirge for November. It's got to end up in the top 10. I think I'd put it here. Yeah, it's just, I think that one acoustic riff near the beginning is one of my favorites. It's probably my favorite acoustic riff, and it still hasn't been dethroned, even with all of these incredible acoustic riffs that Opeth puts out. And the song just goes so hard for the middle portion as well. Again, with the the guitar harmonies, they're just thick. Just feels like you're in a swamp. Yeah, unforgettable song. The Funeral Portrait. I would put it at the top of A+. Definitely was a time when I just couldn't get enough of the song, and it was S tier. And yeah, it hasn't really fallen off at all. It's just I've discovered other songs that maybe I go back to a little bit more. But yeah, I think this song just has the problem that in the two songs that follow it, it's just Blackwater Park is a bit more memorable, but like this song is amazing. Perfect song. So they've lumped Patterns on the Ivy with Blackwater Park, but I don't care about that because I love both of them. And yeah, this is going at the top for now of the top 10. Yeah, I the first album I discovered, where I discovered Opeth, was when Watershed came out. Heard them on satellite radio and instantly bought Watershed, and it was such a heavy album. A little bit too heavy for me at the time, actually. But then I went down the YouTube rabbit hole and discovered Blackwater Park, and the first song I listened to off of the album was Blackwater Park, and I was just blown away. Like, I'm sure a lot of you can relate, maybe. And yeah, I'm pretty sure I stayed up like very late that night just listening to the whole album over and over again. So yeah, just amazing atmosphere, and the number of riffs in this one song could probably fill out an album. Yeah. So on to Deliverance. Wreath. Incredibly heavy song. It was much too heavy for me when I first started listening to Deliverance. But every time I listen to it, it just keeps climbing in the ranks. I would probably put it here. Yeah, Deliverance is becoming one of my most played albums, and it starts off the album really well, and it keeps on growing on me. Next up, Deliverance. I would definitely put this at S tier. I'd probably put it here. Yeah, as much as I've overplayed this song, it still doesn't lose its luster for me. Still gets the job done. Just everything about it. The intro, the outro, and everything in between. Just perfection. Okay, A Fair Judgment. And they've lumped For Absent Friends in with that. I enjoy this song, but personally it's the weak one on the album for me, the weakest one on the album for me. Not saying it's weak. Still really enjoy it. And I can see it rising in the ranks potentially. Like most of the ones that are B and C, as soon as they click with me, then they rise in the ranks. So yeah, I could definitely see it. I hear a lot of people who say it's really underrated and they really like it. And I like it, but I just assume it'll click at some point for me and it'll go up higher. Master's Apprentices. Whoops. This is just perfection. Some of the guitar riffs in this. The first one I like, but the one that comes a little bit later than that, where the rhythm gets disjointed and you kind of lose track, and then you know, I don't know. I'm kind of like off half a step and then I come back. I just eat it all up. I can't get enough of it, and the song just gets better and better toward the end. Yeah. If not my favorite song, definitely one of them. We'll have to see. By the Pain I See in Others. Yeah, for me, I think this will sit at the top of A+. It could go in S, but S is honestly pretty crowded. I really enjoy the song. I've always enjoyed this song. And I hear people talking about the ending because it just goes silent for a while, and the song just keeps going, and then there's the part at the end, but I don't really care about that at all. I love the song. The vocals are something very unique on here as well. I don't even know how to describe it. I don't think it's black metal-y, but it's something more sinister and sickly about it that makes it interesting. Okay, on to Damnation. I was just having this thought today that Deliverance and Damnation were essentially a double album, but they released it as two, and that's just incredible. Imagine if this was released as a double album instead of two, and how it would compare in people's album tier lists. It's mind-blowing. Anyway, Window Pane. This is an S tier for me. Yeah, the only reason that it's not higher, honestly, is because I've played this album to death. And yeah, it'll get to you. It's very dark, very depressing music, but some of the most beautiful music ever written. And yeah, even after playing it to death, it's still S tier for me. In My Time of Need is S tier as well. I would put it slightly above Window Pane at this point in time. Death Whispered a Lullaby. I would probably put this song around A tier. Really like the guitar stuff in the chorus on this song in particular. Closure. For me, this is definitely an A+ song. Could even be S, honestly. It just jams so hard. I love it so much. Where would I put it, though? I think I'd put it at the top of A+ for now. Hope Leaves. This was my favorite off of the Damnation album for a long time, but it's really depressing. And I've played it to death. So I don't think I could drop it down to A, though. Definitely still A+. Yeah, maybe there. That looks good. To Rid the Disease. Yeah, very atmospheric track. There's some of the guitar stuff on here that I really enjoy as well. But I would probably put it somewhere around A tier. Certainly, yeah. I think that makes sense. Ending credits. Just phenomenal jam. Sort of in a similar vein maybe as Epilogue. Not necessarily musically similar, but similar kind of idea. Yeah, that looks about right to me. I just really enjoy it. Weakness. I really like this. I really like this ending to the album personally. I think it's really beautiful. I don't think I could put it above Creedence, but that looks about right. Alright. On to Ghost Reveries. Ghost of Perdition. Certainly for me an S tier track. What's happening here? Yeah, the song just has everything. Where would I put it? I think I'd put it right about there. Yeah, amazing song. Starts off the album. This album in particular, I've really started to enjoy more, getting into sort of the theme of it and the concept, and reading along with the lyrics while I'm listening. And just the theme and the atmosphere, like the lyrical content just brings out so much more of the theme and brings so much life to the album for me. And yeah, the lyrics in this one started all off. The Baying of the Hounds. This has always been my favorite from this album. It's just a banger. Really tough. We're getting into some really tough choices on where to place these. Yeah, I think I'd put it right here right now. Um, Beneath the Mire, kind of overshadowed by these two, but really amazing track. I would definitely put it in A+. I think I would put it below Karma currently, but really unique track, and yeah, I was definitely sort of sleeping on this one as well. It's really risen in the ranks for me lately. Atonement, amazing. I don't know if it's a Middle Eastern feel, like riding on camels or something. From Oasis to Oasis, it's I really like it. But unfortunately, I'd probably put it somewhere in A tier at this point. Certainly below the Amen Corner. I think I'd put it right about there. Reverie, Harlequin Forest. Yeah, I know this is a lot of people's like all-time favorite Opeth song, but for me, I don't know, it always dragged. But I have been gaining an appreciation for it lately, especially sort of its place within the concept, as it were, wandering through this dark forest. So I would probably put it A tier about there at this point. I can certainly see it rising as I listen to it more, but yeah, it's always, I mean, how I always used to feel about it before diving into the lyrics was the first half of the album was just perfection, and then once it got to Harlequin Forest, it just started to drag a little bit for me. But yeah, I think that's changing a little bit. Hours of Wealth, incredibly beautiful song. That has also been gaining on me a little bit. Don't think I can put it ahead of Atonement yet, but that's where I'll put it for now. Grand Conjuration. This one's another one where I didn't get it at first. I don't know if the riff seemed a little bit simple, but once I listened to it in the context of the whole album, it is just perfect. The atmosphere just so evil. It is perfect for its purpose, I think, on the album. I think for that alone, I would put it at S tier. I think the bottom of S at this point. Isolation Years, incredibly beautiful guitars. The vocals as well. It ends off the album perfectly. Definitely have to put this at A or A+. Yeah, I would put it at the bottom of A+ for now. The guitar work is really delicious on that song, in my opinion. On to Watershed. So we have Coil. Yeah, this is the first Opeth album I ever bought and listened to. And yeah, this track, I mean, the only track I had heard before I bought the album was The Lotus Eater. So this one just really shocked me and surprised me. The acoustic guitar on this is just perfection. Because it's so short, I'm tempted to put it in A, but I don't think I can do that, honestly. I think it probably deserves A plus around there for me. Heir Apparent. This is the song that kind of was too heavy for me at the time when I picked up Watershed. For me, it's probably Opeth's heaviest song. There are a couple other contenders, but just the majesty of it just feels like a black hole. It's hard not to put it in S tier, but it's even to this day it's a bit still too heavy for me. Just the slow pace of it, and it just feels like it has so much weight to it. But the guitar solo at the beginning is just something else. So there's no way I can put it below A plus. I think it will go right beside its other really heavy buddy in Wreath. The Lotus Eater. Song is easily a top 10 song of all time. For me, it just slaps so hard. I cannot just stop headbanging incessantly as this song plays. Like the energy, just the changes, the progginess of it, the heaviness of it in parts. I just love it so much. I can't get enough of it. First song I've heard, but by Opeth, but the nostalgia factor does not really play in at all here. It's an amazing song, and it hooked me in immediately when I heard it on the radio. Burden. Honestly, I didn't get this song at first, but recently it's just hit me how amazing this song is, and I can't get enough of it. I'm going to put it right beside the Lotus Eater. Porcelain Heart. I used to really not enjoy this song that much. I thought it was pretty boring, but recently I've been listening to Watershed quite a bit, and really like this song. I think this song is really strong. The drums in this song are off the chain. They are something else. And the opening guitar riff, I mean, I don't know. There's something about it. It's just, I like it. It's not super fancy, but just the way it sounds is quite strong. I think other than the drums, the simplicity of it turned me off initially, but it's really rising in the ranks. Where would I put it now? I think I'd put it above Coil, honestly. This looks about right. Hessian Peel. This was instantly one of my favorites off of this album, and it's an easy S tier for me. It takes you on a real journey, and the end half of it is just relentlessly brutal. Just slaps so hard. Where would I put it at this point in time? I think this looks like a good spot right here, in between The Night and the Silent Water and Ghost of Perdition. Okay, Hex Omega. I've always really liked this song. The opening riff, like the rest of the song could be whatever, and I don't care. That opening riff is just amazing. I don't know if I could put it in S tier, but I would certainly put it in A plus. I think right in between these Blackwater Park buddies is where I put that right now. Okay, on to Heritage. This album, this is kind of when I stopped listening to Opeth for a while before I got my head out of my ass. I've listened to this album so much, trying to enjoy it, and it wasn't working. But recently, in the last month, it's finally caught on a little bit, and I can really appreciate it now. It looks like they've lumped Heritage and the Devil's Orchard together. Heritage, the opening piano riffs, I love it. I would probably put it at A tier. The Devil's Orchard, yeah, I really didn't like this song for the longest time, but it is growing on me a little bit. I think with I don't know if the album has a concept, but from the cover and some of the atmospheres in the album, I think it does, and the lyrics on this one, it does kind of set up for the album, I think, and give quite a, sort of put you in a place. I always feel like it's just a sort of a hot summer wasteland when listening to this album. So the atmosphere of the album is incredibly unique and potent. I think this song sets it up pretty well. So I would put this song as a B tier for now. I Feel the Dark song just still hasn't clicked for me. It's just so empty. I guess mood-wise and theme-wise, it kind of makes sense, but for me, at this point, I'm not a big fan. Slither. Yeah, I didn't grow up with the sort of old heavy metal stuff. It's more into prog rock, so to speak. So this one, I just don't connect with it, and it doesn't really sound like anything Opeth's ever done, which isn't a problem because they're always reinventing and coming up with new stuff, which is one of the reasons why I love Opeth. But yeah, I don't really dig this song at this point. Could change in the future. Nepenthe, just the beginning really drags on for me. The way that the words are sung is kind of off-putting to me for some reason. I admit that the end of the song is really cool. I like the weirdness and jazziness of it. But as the song as a whole, for now, it would have to be in C tier. Hack's Process. This is where the album really starts to turn around for me, and I can really start enjoying it. I love the acoustic guitar on this song, and the song in general. I enjoy it. Probably put Hack's Process at B. Where would I put it though? I think I'd put it above the Devil's Orchard, actually. Famine. I really like this song. I think the atmosphere it gives is quite incredible, and the heavy riffs at the end and the sort of lighter riffs earlier on in the song, I really enjoy. I would put this song at A tier. Where would I put it? Don't think I could. Could I put it above Creedence? I don't think so. What about Atonement? I think I would go right here. I mean, both Atonement and Famine have quite an interesting atmosphere, but personally, I'd normally want to sit in the atmosphere of Atonement a bit more than Famine. But concept-wise, it makes sense. Lines in My Hand. This song, sometimes I just can't get it out of my head. It really slaps. The rhythm section in particular on the song is amazing. I would definitely put it in an A plus tier. Where would I put it? I think I'd put it right in between Wreath and Heir Apparent. Yeah, really enjoy this song. Super high energy. Folklore, another great song. Another A plus song for me. Certainly one of my favorites from the album. I would probably at this point put it certainly above Coil. But I don't think I can put it above any of the others yet. But this is one that still might grow on me a little bit more, along with the tracks down here. Marrow of the Earth. This is one that I just adored from first listen. Just gave me chills down my spine. I don't think I could put it above Isolation Years, though. Even putting it above Harvest is, or The Moor is, even, yeah, I think it has to be A tier somewhere, unfortunately, even though I really enjoy it. I think I'm going to put it right ahead of Famine. That seems to make sense to me. Okay, on to Pale Communion. This is the album when I came back to revisit their Opeth's newer stuff, I think a couple of years ago. And this album just took me. It became easily my most played album for probably 2 years. And still play it a lot these days. And yeah, Eternal Rains Will Come. I don't know if it breaks into the top 10, but it is easily an S tier song for me. It's just a perfect song. Like, love everything about this song. Where would I put it? I think I'd put it right up here. It's getting quite challenging to rank order these. I imagine like anything from A tier to the top 10 could probably fluctuate over time. That's how close a lot of these are for me. Okay. Cusp of Eternity. Just a banger of a song, high energy. Just love the groove of it, and the guitar solo section with the riffs underneath in particular, I really, really like. I'd probably put it about here in A tier. Moon Above, Sun Below, kind of the epic of the album. I would probably put it as an A+. It's one that's constantly growing on me more and more as I listen more and more. Great atmosphere to it. Lots of heavier parts and softer parts throughout. I would definitely put it above Closure, even though I love Closure. You know what? I would put it above The Grand Conjuration. No, I don't think I would. Just for its place on the album, but it could rise in the future for me as well. Elysian Woes. Yeah, I'm kind of heartbroken to put this one low, but because I love Pale Communion as an album so much, but honestly, it doesn't really do anything to me. At this point, at least. I feel that Moon Above, Sun Below has enough of these sort of soft sections that I'd rather just get right to Goblin after Moon Above, Sun Below, sadly. But I've never tried that. So maybe if I did, it wouldn't be as good. I don't know. Um, I don't think I'd put it at C tier. But I'd probably put it at the bottom of B tier at this point. Okay, Goblin. Yeah, this is just a banger of a song. I really enjoy it every time. Amazing instrumental. I think it's got to be A plus. Does it go above Folklore is the question. No, but it could. Just really enjoy that song. Okay, River. This is one of my favorite songs. It could even be it's been my favorite for quite a while, but yeah, these two flip-flop a lot in the past couple of years for me. But yeah, just incredible song throughout. Really takes you on a journey, and the lyrics just connect so well with the song. Even the name of the song. Even if there are no lyrics, and you just had the name River with the music, it's just like a winding river. It starts off, calm, and then the rapids build, and then it kind of hits its terminus. Just perfect song. But really the second half of it is what just blows my mind. Just the guitar dueling is, yeah, I can't see this song ever honestly falling out of my top 5 songs. We'll see, but I love this song so much. Voice of Treason. I think this song is S tier, particularly for the end and how it merges with the next one, but S tier song for me. Where would I place it? I think I'd go right about there. You know what? Actually, at this point in time for me, yeah. And Faith in Others, S tier. Yeah, another one of those just shockingly beautiful songs with lyrics to match, and one that frequently will just surprise you and leave you in tears, and just masterpiece. Particularly the way it flows from Voice of Treason into Faith in Others. Yeah, not much more to say. Okay, on to Sorceress. This was one of the albums that took me a lot longer to get into, and I bounced really hard off of it many times that I tried. But yeah, recently with just some recent life events, it finally clicked, and it really clicked. So they've lumped Persephone in with Sorceress, and I think this is around A plus for me at this point. Where would I put it? I think I'd put it right about there. Yeah, the song is just really catchy, and I like it a lot. I like the downtuned guitar sounds. It's kind of unique for Opeth to do that, and it sounds awesome. The Wildflowers. This one, the guitar solo is what really makes this one for me. It's out of this world. Where would I put it? I think I'd put it right about there in A tier. Really enjoy the song. Will o' the Wisp. I think this one was one of the reasons why I bounced off Sorceress so hard. It's just like the one vocal line really, really reminded me of Jethro Tull a little bit too much and kind of broke the immersion. But once I kind of got past that, it's a really awesome song. I really enjoy it. I would probably put it in B tier, right in between Hex Process and the Devil's Orchard for now. Chrysalis. This song's really good. One thing I enjoy about it is you can hear some of those old style Opethian riffs. So the circular riffs in it. And I really like it. Where would I rank it though? I think it's definitely A tier. At this point, I'd probably put it below Cusp of Eternity. But I could definitely see that one rising in the ranks as I get more listens of Sorceress. Sorceress 2. Really beautiful song. Kind of a sad song, in my opinion, with the lyrics. Although, there's not many Opus songs that don't ooze sorrow. Where would I put this? I think I'd put this right around here with Weakness. Maybe even a similar vibe there. The seventh Sojourn. I really love this song. I think it seems really meaningful for the arc of the album, coming after Sorceress 2 and the lyrics at the end. But first, it's like the person's going on a journey. You know, they've made up their mind to go somewhere else, basically. And I love this song. Is it A or A plus though for me? It's probably somewhere around Harvest. But maybe I have Harvest too low. I think I have Harvest too low. Gonna have to modify it at the end. I think I'd put it there in A plus, honestly. This song is really hitting me right now. Maybe I'll move Harvest right now. I think I'd put Harvest in A plus as well, right around there. All right, Strange Brew. This is definitely my favorite track from the album right now. I think it honestly deserves S tier. It's for that vocal part and the screaming blues guitar part after it. But also just the whole moodiness of the song. Like, it just takes me to a place where I've been, you know. I love it. So at this point, I'd put this song very high. It's really hard to put it above Faith in Others. But honestly, I think I have to right now. I think I'd put it right there behind Deliverance. This is kind of surprising me, but let's see. I just really like this song right now. Fleeting Glance. I like this song as well. I'd probably put it in A tier. Somewhere between Chrysalis and the Wildflowers. I think I'd put it below Atonement. Era. And then they've lumped Persephone Slight Return with that, which makes sense because it's very similar to the beginning of the song. Yeah, this is the one that caught me immediately. That, you know, I always liked this song from Sorceress, even when I didn't like the whole album. I don't think it's S tier for me, but I could see it going as an A plus song. I think it would go in between Goblin and Harvest for me right now. I like it a lot. Okay, on to The Poison in the Tail. Incauda Venenum. For some reason they've put The Garden of Earthly Delights as a separate song, but I guess it is fairly lengthy, so maybe that makes sense. So, yeah, I think the sort of octave weirdness at the beginning is a bit off-putting, but then when the Stranger Things-esque synth thing comes in, it kind of, I don't know, it works for me, and it really puts you into a certain atmosphere for the album. So I certainly couldn't put it any lower than B tier. I think I'd put it here. Dignity. I really like this track. Kind of the disjointed rhythm of the guitar riffs I really enjoy. I would probably put this at A tier. I'm looking at these other songs. Probably right there. The guitar work, well, just the song in general, it really reminds me of Dream Theater for some reason. Might be one of the guitar solos, maybe, but yeah. Heart in Hand, definitely a really good song. It's probably A plus for me right now. Just a really strong song all the way through. Where would I put it right now, though? Where an A plus? I think I'd, no, not above Era. Not above, I think I'd put it after Harvest and before Coil. Really enjoy that song, though. Next of Kin. This song is just massive. It's just a masterpiece. It's S tier for me. I don't think it beats out The Voice of Trees and Faith in Others combo. It's pretty close with Windowpane for me right now. I think it beats out To Bid You Farewell. For me right now, yeah, it's beating out Windowpane. It's tough. Love, Lore, and Crime. Yeah, when you think that this album couldn't get any more huge and epic, then Love, Lore, and Crime comes on. And, yeah, we'll see. This one might go in my top 10. How many are we at? That would be 10 right there. Okay, since I know what's coming, then some of these are getting bumped down. I don't know. Could I put it above Demon of the Fall and Moonlapse Vertigo, though? I think so. Like, this song is just on another level. Unfortunately, Moonlapse Vertigo is going to get bumped down as well. Spoilers. Yeah. Charlatan. I really dig this song. I think they're like playing multiple basses or something on it instead of guitars. Don't know if that's right, but I really enjoy this song. I think it would go somewhere in the A tier. Maybe around Cusp of Eternity. Just with the energy that it has. I think it's definitely below Chrysalis, though. Below Harlequin Forest. Below Death Whispered Lullaby. Yeah, definitely below Credence. Maybe I have Credence too low. So many good songs. This is a challenge. Okay, it's above The Wildflowers. Is it above Famine? Yeah. Borrow of the Earth? Yeah. A Fleeting Glance? I don't think so. I think that's where Charlatan ends its reign of terror. Universal Truth? Man. Another amazing song. The music video for this is just heartbreaking. It's like damnation levels of depression. And the lyrics are really cutting as well. Oh, I guess I should mention, like I'm using the English titles here, but I only listened to the Swedish version. So I don't know how the English version really sounds. I haven't listened to it enough, but I do often read the English lyrics along with listening to the Swedish version. Yeah, this one, it's one that probably deserves an A+, but for me, I think it's going somewhere in A. It's just a bit too depressing and dismal for me at this point. I think I'd put it above The Wildflowers. Okay, The Garroter. Super jazzy song. Definitely fits on the album, although it's very strange for Opeth even standards. Honestly, I love jazz, but the strings with the jazz, it's just not a place I want to live in. Like it feels like I'm in a ballroom or something like that, and that's like one of the last places that I enjoy being, unless it's like a wedding. But I will say, like, the scatting part near the end and the guitar work, like, save this song completely for me. And I do assume that it will rise in the ranks as I give it more listens. The guitar work is incredibly tasteful on this, and the scatting part, yeah, I love that part. So, yeah, I can't put it in C just because of that. Yeah, it's probably B tier, around here for me. Man, this list is very top heavy. Okay, Continuum. This is S tier. Where does it belong in S tier, though? I kind of want to put it alongside All Things Will Pass. Does it beat out Dirge for November? I think so. It's just when the guitar comes in, it's just like nothing else. I don't think it beats out April Ethereal. But, yeah. I don't know. I can't get enough of this song. And how it ties in with the next one, All Things Will Pass. Yeah. This could easily be up here as well. But for me right now, I'll put it right here. I don't think you can ask for a better end to the album. It's just one of the most emotion-evoking songs ever. Like along with Benighted and, many of the others. A Lovelorn Crime as well. Oof, I want to put a Lovelorn Crime in S tier. I do. I think I'm gonna have to split up Continuum and All Things Pass. will pass because, yeah, I don't think I can put Benighted or Dirge from November down out of the top 10 just yet. Honestly, I think Lovelorn Crime is above All Things Will Pass, but masterpiece of an album. Yeah, In God of Venenum is one that it just intrigues me more and more every time I put it on. I just want to put it on all the time. And every time it just blows me away more than the last listen. So, yeah, maybe I'll take a few minutes to look through this just to make sure that everything looks good. I think April Ethereal needs to go higher. Burden and Lovelorn Crime. These could really flip either way. But right now I'm on a burden tear here. That looks pretty good to me. Oof, Demon of the Fall needs to go higher, I think. Top of S tier. Yeah, that all makes sense. I almost feel like Strange Brew needs to go higher. I don't think I could put it. Yeah. I mean, I've played Deliverance to death. And Strange Brew is the new hot thing for me. So, yeah. Yeah. Faith in Others and Voice of Treason, I think, need to go higher. How much higher, though? That looks about good. Next of Kin probably needs to go higher as well. I think that looks better. Moon Above, Sun Below. Yeah. I think Karma needs to go higher. Beneath the Mire needs to go higher. I think Wreath is taking Leper Affinity for me, honestly. Forest of October needs to go higher. Yeah, it definitely needs to go higher. There. Looks good. Honestly, Era needs to go higher. Kind of a travesty to have Harvest this low, but yeah, it is what it is. There's a lot of good songs. Alright, A+ tier. Yeah, that looks good. Am I putting the moor too low? I don't think so. I've just played it to death. Amen corner. Cusp of eternity, chrysalis. And chrysalis goes up a bit. I think credence has to go up. It's not sitting well with me that it is low like this. Is dignity too low? I think dignity's too low. The guitar solo in Wildflowers. So good. Okay. Black Rose Immortal. Is Black Rose Immortal too low? I think so. It's got to at least beat Sorceress 2. Weakness. Hours of Wealth. Dignity? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I think that's as far as Black Rose Immortal goes for me. Okay, B tier. Maybe I'm being too rough on The Devil's Orchard. I think I am. Yeah, probably something like that. Being way too rough on A Fair Judgment. Way too rough. I think it's at the top of B tier. You know what? It's got to go in A tier, I think. It's way better than some of these songs, in my opinion. That's where A Fair Judgment goes. Toward the Disease, honestly, I think it's dropping down to B tier. Sorceress 2, I think, just for the lyrical and emotion of it, will stay at A tier. So Will-O-the-Wisp, Porcelain Triumph, and In the Mist She Was Standing. I think some of these Orchid tracks are too low. Definitely. Yeah, I think they're going at the top of B, both of them. Elysian Woes. Yeah, it's at the bottom of B. Okay, C tier. Being too rough on Advent. I think so. I think I'm being too rough on Advent. Under the Weeping Moon, Nectar. Penth is probably up here. What's my least favorite Opeth track right now? I think it's I Feel the Dark. Although Nectar gives it a run for its money. Yeah, I think that's it. So behold my final Opeth tier list of all songs, minus the bonus tracks. Won't fit on one screen. I'll have to take a screenshot. But yeah, so it's very interesting to do. It'll be fun to look back on it and see how things change in the years going forward. Which lower tracks I might gain a better appreciation for. I mean, it looks quite diverse. There is definitely a still life S tier clump here. Some pale communion S tier clumps as well. But yeah, pretty fun to do. Thanks for tuning in.